Steve, I think this is the one everybody's waiting for. 89, Steve Smith Sr., James Palmer with you. You've been waiting for this one. We went through the one-trick pony list. We went through the I'm sorry tier. We went through wise old owl tier. We went through the young pup tier. Some guys are on the verge of becoming what we're about to get to, and that is the group of big dogs. Only about a third of the NFL has a big dog on their team, according to Steve Smith Sr. One team has 2 of them. We got big dogs, and then we have King of the Jungle as well. That's what we're going to cover today. I think, Steve, you got about 10 big dogs.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's what's left. We've gone through a lot. If you haven't watched them, make sure you watch those other episodes where we break down a lot of receivers, the young pups. That's one to watch right there about guys that could be on the verge of getting into this group. But this is a private society up here, Steve, right now with these big dogs.
I love this one. Mike Evans.
So I was curious what you were going to do with Mike Evans.
He ain't no wise owl.
I was just curious what you were going to do with him. Because you're a wise owl and you got 11 straight seasons of 1,000 yards. Yep. You're a wise owl that's still a big dog. Yeah.
This dude, every damn year, misses time for a hamstring. He's 30 years old. And every damn year, he has 1,000 yards. Think about it.
Mm-hmm. It's unreal. It's unreal.
Big dog.
Yeah.
And all he does is watch Harry Potter, eat candy, and play football. That's it. He doesn't do anything else, bro.
I don't know. I've seen him work out. He's got that little turf field in his backyard. He works out on that little mini turf field.
He's probably quit the candy. But Harry Potter, work out, does football. That's all he does. Eat, breathe, sleep, football.
I like it, though. He's not going to give you a ton of natural separation as a fluid route runner, but he doesn't need to because of how he uses his size and how powerful and aggressive a runner he is.
He is. That's all facts.
Can you kind of describe, I think that's true, like the way he goes about a route, it's like you're not going to push him off anything.
You're not going to push him.
He's just going to own the whole thing.
He's going to he's going to own all that real estate.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to throw his weight around.
Yes.
And it's going to take him all day to get out of the turn.
Doesn't matter.
But he still gets there.
Yeah.
And him getting out of the turn has nothing to do with his age. It's his lack of flexibility. He is the most stiffest route runner I know. And he runs like his feet hurt sometimes. But that's just how he runs.
Yeah. That's the thing I was told by when I asked around, it was like he beats you in his way.
Yes.
Like that's how he does it.
Yeah, he's not supposed to do that, but he's doing it.
But he's beating you all the time in his way. Do you think we're now at that point where he's finally getting his due? Because this run he's been on, for the first half of it, nobody paid attention.
No, it was like, he's
down there in Tampa.
Because it was so many quarterbacks being rotated in and out.
And they were losing games and they had to throw the ball. And
yeah.
But then Tom comes. And Tom tells you this dude's legit. Yep. And then everybody pays attention, and now everybody's going, he's still doing it. He's still doing it. Yeah, this guy he's no joke still. Okay.
I'm nervous about which one I should do, but I'm going to go ahead and pick this one.
Okay.
Drake London, big dog.
Oh, big dog Drake London. Okay.
Big dog Drake London.
Okay, 4th in the NFL in receiving a season ago.
Bro, and here's why with Drake London that I think doesn't really get enough credit. Drake London, I told guys before, Drake London has had the same issues that some of these guys we talked about that have dealt with. Drake London has played with some bad quarterback play, and he's been a youngster.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's worse than learning how to do something. First day on the job, and it's a damn disaster.
Yeah.
Think about it. It skews your whole perspective of how to interpret what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
This last year with Kirk Cousins, it was supposed to be better, and it was. But the difference was Kirk struggled, and Drake struggled with him. Bro, week 9, Drake had 2 targets, 2 catches. for 27 yards.
100%.
Bro, that's unacceptable.
You can't, especially when you got that type of player. I mean, come on.
That's not his fault. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Week 1, 3 targets, 2 receptions, 15 yards. Somebody gonna lose their life. Somebody is gonna lose their life. I am cussing out everybody on that team in the offense. If you got me out here week 1,
yeah,
getting 15 yards, oh hell no, you got me bleep 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 bleep.
Stevie ripping the NFL Films mic off his chest.
Right? But then in that second half,
bananas.
It's all dependent on quarterback play. And that should not be up to him, and that should not impact him. And I think with Raheem has been on him this offseason, on him at training camp, pushing him, saying, this is what I expect from you. This is what I believe you can be. And I think this year you're going to really see it wasn't Drake London. It was the circumstances that impacted his ability to grow. Mm-hmm. And now you can see why he was drafted where he was drafted, because he can be a damn good football player.
Yeah. Well, you're talking to a big Michael Penix fan right here. I'm excited to see Penix play with Drake London. I love that you followed Mike Evans with Drake London, because I had a conversation with a defensive coach, and he kind of threw the two together, Steve. He more or less said, obviously, Drake is physical.
Yep.
But he's not a bully ball guy like, say, Mike Evans, DK, and A.J. Brown. He plays with he obviously is physical. He obviously has a size, but he actually throws in a little more finesse into it. And he's got a little slipperiness to him. He can play in the slot a little bit. He can do some different things for you in terms of his basketball background, and above the rim type of stuff that he really, really excels at.
And that makes me think about, as soon as you said that, there's 2 or 3 plays when Desmond Ritter was the quarterback. It wasn't, ball placement wasn't accurate. But if Drake London had been playing bully ball, he would have caught it. Mm-hmm. But because he had a little bit of finesse and it was off the mark, it was out of his grasp, and it made a standard catch extremely difficult.
And he's got some quickness for his size, for sure. And so, this was I love that you followed up with this one, because he was I think he's Mike, but obviously he's younger. He's a little bit quicker, a little bit more finesse, but he was he still could be physical. Man, it's almost like he was hinting he could be a little bit more physical. But you posted a route the other day. You commented, I saw on your social media, where he went up and over. That's that basketball, above the rim type of route. But you like the route more than I think the catch, honestly.
I mean, it was
No, I'm not discarding the catch. No, I'm just saying.
So here's I love what you said. I loved everything about it, because if he doesn't catch the ball, then all he did is just kill the grass. Yeah. Think about it. If you run that great route and you don't catch the ball, you don't get a first down, because, man, it was a great route though. First down. No, you have to come down with the football. And then the other part, ball placement. Right? Ball placement and doing all of that. So many things are going on. And some people said, well, this is a pointless post. Well, if a pictures are worth 1,000 words, I guess a video is worth 10,000 words.
Yeah.
So I just allowed the video to speak for itself.
Yeah, it was. I remember I watched it a few times. He's got good feet for a big guy.
Yeah, he does. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
DJ Moore, the Chicago Bears. He's a big dog.
Big dog, DJ Moore. Let's go. He's a big dog.
Now, what will be interesting, and why I could continue, and I say he's going to be a real tough big dog to deal with. You got to remember, Ben Johnson loves these type of players. They can line up anywhere, but you think they're just a slot guy. And I'm going to follow up with my other big dog that emphasizes, that gets in this tree as well. You have to know and
What are you
understand
talking about?
with DJ Moore, he's been through a lot. Being drafted by the Carolina Panthers, getting traded to the Chicago Bears. But what is the very thing that was attractive about DJ Moore? What he did not know how to do, and it took him some time to learn, is DJ Moore was a high-volume catching receiver out of college. 15, 12, 13, 20. He had a ton of targets.
Yep.
I did not say receptions. I said targets, which means that you get a lot of opportunities to do things.
And engagement. Like, you know the ball's coming your way.
You know your ball. You get to try some things out. And what did he do when he got to Carolina? The volume changed, and he had to learn how to operate and be efficient with the same, expected to have 120, 150 yards, but with 6 targets.
It's different.
It's different. And it took him some time. Goes to Chicago, playing with Justin Fields, off schedule, not on time. Now they have Ben Johnson. And Ben Johnson, he loves to give his guys, right? So now what you have, fantasy owners, listen to me. Oh. I don't give y'all many tips, but I'm about to give you a tip right now, Super Pauls, is Ben Johnson is going to give DJ Moore targets and volume like he was at the University of Maryland. And that will be a problem because Ben Johnson loves to feature receivers. Ben Johnson's offense does not believe in feeding one. He believes in feeding them all.
So you still think that volume targets will come with the addition of Colston Loveland, with Rome Odunze being there, with Luther Burden coming in, and Cole Kmet as well. It's still DJ Moore.
Hey, bro, I don't need all of this well thought of great data that you just did to make me doubt myself. Damn it, I'm standing on what I said because DJ's my spirit animal now, so I'm biased.
I like it. No, I like it, though, because like when I ask around, Steve, it's like, he's one of those players, and you know the way some of these guys are talked about, like in NFL buildings and facilities, where the coaches are just like, I love his game. I love his game. And like, it's not said the same way publicly, probably in a lot of conversations with a player like Justin Jefferson, but like DJ Moore is that guy that there's a lot of people that, I mean, I've loved his game since college. I've loved his game since he was playing in his early days at Carolina. Yeah, he's one of those. He's one of those guys. I'm not surprised by it, but I like it. I like it. Okay, what else we got?
Another big dog, Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Detroit Lions. And why this is extremely important is because you know with Ben Johnson leaving, you naturally would go, well, this is a guy, you know, his production is scheme-driven with him. That's the idea that people think is like, well, if he wasn't in his offense, he really wouldn't be doing that. Let me tell you something. That's not the case at all.
Okay.
He only had 1 drop last year, 115 targets, and contested catch rate, almost 67%.
That's unreal.
Contested catch rate. So if you're scheming up a guy, he shouldn't be catching the ball in under duress. He should be wide open. And statistically, he lined up in the slot 50% of the time and also lined up wide 50% of the time.
That's half and half.
Why I like all this is that's where it plays into for DJ Moore with Ben Johnson, now the offensive coordinator, is you got a guy who's a volume guy, and then now you got the scheme that's going to help you out. Well, it's not the scheme. It's the player who's mastered his craft and now is in a good scheme, and he knows exactly what to do.
Yeah. That's a good call. Kind of note I got on him, Steve. You're going to lose sleep over him because of where he is.
All night.
And if you're not in the right call and he's moved up somewhere and you got a safety against him, you got problems. And you got problems for days. That's the big thing. Specifically, I was told, and I know he plays outside, like you mentioned, 50-50, but they're like, he's just a nightmare to schematically as a defense account for him in the slot. And figure out ways to stop him. Because really what I was told by somebody else, which I thought was interesting, is like to stop him, you need a really physical nickel. Like your nickel needs to be really physical to go against him. And if you don't, you got huge problems in facing Amon-Ra St. Brown. He puts a lot of work on you as a defensive staff.
As a defense coordinator, yeah. He puts a lot of plan A, plan B, plan C. What happens if he lines up tight? They shift. He goes outside and then they motion him inside and give him a jet sweep.
And you're sitting there screaming from the sideline,
yeah,
trying to get guys to move. Because you know you're screwed. Yeah. Once he moved, they did a good job of it, and he wins those. Okay, we're moving here. I like this. All right, what do we got?
All right, this is very surprising, but you got to be at camp. He's gonna get suspended, so that's gonna impact him. However, the people I'm talking to up there, general manager Brett Veach, talking to wide receivers coach, talking to everybody, talking to offensive coordinator. They love what they're seeing, and I'm telling you, they have said Rashee Rice is the lead dog in the outhouse. He is running unbelievable routes, and we talked about it in the other episode with Brandon Ayuk about injuries. They said with a knee injury, you usually are worried about getting the guy up to speed. How does he feel? They said Rashee Rice was running full speed in OTAs. Mid-May, he did not look like he had knee surgery. They said he is fluid, dropping his hips, locked in, lining up all over the place, making plays here and there. And why that is really interesting, Spags' defense, when you look at Trent McDuffie, he's a guy that's physical. He loves to be physical. Oh, yeah. That is his game. If he can't be physical, that's where it gets him in trouble. He learned it in the championship. He tried to big boy A.J. Brown, and A.J. Brown said, no, I don't think so. If there's a big dog in the house, roof, you ain't him. And so Rashee Rice is figuring out how to play through physicality because we naturally put the tag on speed guys is they don't like contact. Well, he's going against a guy that he thrives in contact. This defense is built on knocking guys off the route, being physical, and Rashee Rice is getting that every day, and he's off knee surgery, and he's out there blowing and going. It's dope.
He is. A few things. One, you mentioned that fighting through physicality, Steve. One thing that he had right when he got into the league was how physical he is once he has the ball in his hands. I mean, he is a running back going vertical, downfield, and he's looking to impose his will on guys yards after the catch. That is something he's had throughout his short time in the league. And I think you're right, because I go back to last year, and he gets hurt, I think it's week 4. Go and look at the targets through the first 3 weeks. Astronomical compared to the rest of the group. Mahomes is looking for him almost every play, knowing that he's their guy. Like he is their guy. And we also have an episode everybody should go back and watch. It was Steve, I think one of your best episodes in terms of teach tape in those shallow crosses that Rashee Rice runs.
Oh yeah.
And that was an outstanding episode. I talked to a defensive coach who told me when we played him a couple of years ago, I went up to him after the game on the field, and I was like, "You keep working because you're gonna be something. Like That's really gonna be something, man." And he seems like he's there. I think this year his ability. You're right. Everything that you've heard out of KC, I've heard the same. It is like that. That's a guy they believe is a top 10 receiver in this league. Kansas City believes that through and through.
That's dope.
He's got a cool game. I like that.
Yeah,
he
does.
All right.
Not a huge deal. DK Metcalf, Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a big dog.
He's a big dog.
He's a big dog. In this offense, I would expect the deep ball that he runs and how the type of routes that he likes to run. and the type of throws that Aaron Rodgers have, I don't see anything changing. He's still going to be that deep threat impact player. They have a lot of different personalities and things going on offensively. And I was at that training camp to be able to see how it's going to gel together. It'll be very interesting to see how the tight ends implement, how all the other wide receivers go. But getting DK and Aaron on the same page immediately, because Aaron has a variety of throws and throw angles that DK isn't used to.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But DK also doesn't run a lot of those routes that he can use that funky angle of throwing the football. So they're trying to work that, what DJ does well and what Aaron does well.
Yeah, I thought this was an interesting marriage between receiver and quarterback. But I do think the stuff on the boundary, the back shoulder stuff that Aaron's so good at, and DK using his body in those situations, those things jump out at me. I think you're right about the tight ends. It's a deep room, even when they add Jonnu Smith to it, and then you got the monster playing tight end as well, and you still have, Freiermuth as well.
Freiermuth doesn't get enough credit. He can play, man.
He really can.
He can play.
Who's emerging as that too, though? Is it Roman Wilson? Like, who's going to help out DK as that number 2 receiver too? Because I do know, I heard some rumblings, and I don't know when you're watching this episode, but they've been looking at receivers, potentially maybe trying to add somebody. Who's going to be that complement to help DK in this?
I think you're hearing rumblings because DK has shown how good of a player he is immediately in practice. Mm-hmm. And they're still waiting for someone to emerge. And when you're waiting for someone to emerge and you feel, especially the way this defense has been constructed, that they're ready to win now, and then you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, you got DK, who's there for however long he wants to be, you're saying, I don't know if I'm willing to wait or find out if there's someone on our roster. We need someone to show us, I am that guy right now. And I think that's the problem.
You're right. I get it. They're all in on 2025, man. This is the most all-in team in the league maybe for just 1 year. All right.
Surprising guy. Not surprising, but the description is very surprising. Puka Nacua. Obviously, big dog. Puka is very unique because second year, and he's nearly 3,000 yards. He's neither the biggest or fastest.
Yeah.
And yet, he's extremely difficult to cover.
Why?
He has mastered and understanding how to run his routes in this offense. And then he's in this offense where he high volume. He's going to get a lot of targets. He's going to move around. He is getting what Cooper Kupp was getting. He's featured. Everybody else around him is just there to watch and keep people occupied to allow Puka to do his thing in the secondary.
Yeah, I was talking to a coach who just said, like, you're going to talk about him a lot throughout the week. Like, a lot throughout the week, because what you're saying is true too. Like, schematically, you got to help yourself as a defense to go against Puka. Obviously, it's the offense. He kind of put like Puka and Terry McLaurin in kind of the same vein, in kind of just, and it's a lot of part about how they play the position that I think is actually a little bit similar. But a ton of respect when I asked around about Puka. I would say, Steve, that there were coaches that were like, I put him in the big dog, but I'm not putting him at the top of the big dog group.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, but like, you have to plan for him for sure. Okay.
Definitely. Well, let's jump into Terry McLaurin. I like him. Scary Terry.
Gotta like him. I want you to kind of describe to people Terry's game. Because if you look at a player that could probably have their game continue to ascend in their 30s, it's the way Terry plays, right?
The thing with Terry, why it has the potential to ascend and improve and impact better, is a simple answer, is Captain Obvious. Coordinator, quarterback. It's so much better. Then they didn't acquire Debo just to have him. They acquired him because that gave another offensive weapon, which means that now benefits Terry because now teams have to decide, do we come down and commit to the run out of this pistol formation because they have the running back and they have a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, that leaves what? One-on-one coverage.
And guess what? When you hit 30, you don't stop tracking the ball the way Terry tracks the ball.
No.
You don't lose the savviness that Terry plays the position in. You don't lose the football IQ. You don't lose any of those things that he has. You're right. It's like you talked about in another episode. You gain those things when you get older in the wise old owl situation. Okay.
All right. T. Higgins. T. Higgins is a big dog. You see T. Higgins, he is, let's be honest, right? Some people look at T. Higgins and they have their opinions about him. He's not
product
this.
of the situation.
He wouldn't be this if it wasn't for, you're absolutely right. I agree. Blah, 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 blah. His primary position is X, but he excels in his role. And when he excels in his role, it doesn't matter who's aligned outside of him because that guy is doing his job. And that's the thing, what they say in football, they say, hey, with a fist, all the team analogy with a fist, when you ball up these 5 fingers, this fist becomes more powerful.
Yeah.
Well, he's part of the fingers in the fist. You got Joe Burrow. You got the offensive coordinator.
Joe would be the thumb. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe's the thumb. Jamar, right? Gesicki. When they do run the ball, and then ultimately, T. Higgins. Right? So you add all those things, and when Jamar's getting double teamed, they have a reliable guy with T. Higgins who can take over a game as well.
We've seen him do it. We've seen him do it for sure. By the way, they think Chase Brown is a real deal in the back. They think he might be a top 10 running back. I completely agree. Talking to a couple of people, it was this, Steve. It was like the catch radius is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Man, can he run. He gave us a ton of problems trying to defend him. But the constant debate happens is the way you started this. And I want to have this conversation with you using T. Higgins as the vehicle.
Uh-oh.
Obviously, everybody says, well, could he go be a 1 elsewhere? Would he be a 1 somewhere else? What's your take on that?
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter if he can be somewhere else. What he has done, you want every player to do. He is excelling in the role that he has. What he is told and what he is asked to do, he exceeds all expectations. Does he want to get paid as a 1? Probably. Would he love to be featured and have as many targets? Probably. But he also doesn't want to lose the relationship and the position that he's with playing also with Joe Burrow and Jamarr Chase. It's such a great combination.
It is. He wanted to stay.
What they say, if it ain't broke,
don't fix it.
Don't fix it.
Well, they still have some things broke in Cincinnati, but but it's not the 3 of them by any stretch. Okay, he's still a big dog. I like it. I like it. Okay.
This one is really intriguing to me. CeeDee Lamb.
Okay. I did not talk to a single person that did not say he was a big dog. Every single person said he was a big dog.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's a big dog. Everybody talks about the decline of production for Dak Prescott. That's what everybody says. I ain't into that, whatever. But what I like is with a highly motivated George Pickens, that now puts a lot of people on notice that we have to isolate and keep George Pickens from limiting him from having those explosive plays that he wants to have.
Yep.
He's going to have to prove it. What that does for CeeDee Lamb, who lines up all over the field, now that puts him in one-on-one matchups. And not every corner can follow CeeDee Lamb in every position because he lines up all over the field. And you have a George Pickens who needs just as much attention in the secondary because you know he's going up top. Think about this. Week 1 and week 2 against the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are notoriously known for running a lot of man-to-man coverage. And my man was targeted 66% of the time and was catching it. So that lets you know he knows how to create his own space. Then they go to New Orleans, week 2. So Marshawn Lattimore is playing at this time. This is prior to him getting traded. So he's a tough physical guy, 63%. Right? And then you go play Pittsburgh, who at the time Pittsburgh week 5 didn't really have it. You know, they weren't the defense they are today. 70% balling. If that ain't a big dog, I don't know what it is.
100%. 100%. You know, when I was talking to each one of these guys about, you know, like who do you want, like describing the big dog category, right? And this is what I want you to do when you think of big dogs. And one of the guys corrected me. He goes, in my opinion, this is a big dog. And this is exactly what you're describing with CeeDee Lamb. He goes, when I think of it as a defensive coach, it is the guy who is getting off the bus and everybody on the planet knows he's getting the football. And it's 3rd and 7 and everybody knows he's getting the football and he will win. He will always do his thing. Every single week, no matter, you know, who the opponent is, he's a one and he's a big dog and he's going to win. That you just described that, right? You just described he's always going to get his. He said, he's like, that was Devontae Adams in his heyday. Like it was always, and that's CeeDee now. Like that's exactly right. Like it doesn't matter. That's the separation of the guys that are at the top of this league. And listen, he's had some times where he's had no help.
Zero.
None. And he's been able to go out.
I love this one. Go with a little bit of surprise.
Oh, I like this.
This is a little hot take.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson. He runs every route. He knows what he's doing. Now, the question mark isn't in Justin Jefferson. It may be for fantasy people because of the soft tissue and the hamstring. But look, all these wide receivers, it's track meet. It's constant running. So they got to let these guys rest. But the question mark, what does J.J. McCarthy do and how well
good question.
He does and how will that impact Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison as well?
Yeah. We're going to have a suspension, by the way.
This may be a question at some point. I've stated this and people aren't listening.
I know where you're going.
There is in this offense, there's the big dog who eats dinner, and then there's some dudes who snack.
Oh, that's what Kevin O'Connell does.
Jordan Addison is a snacker in this offense, but he deserves at times based off when the absence of Justin Jefferson and his hamstring. Now think about this. Now you got let's be honest, a rookie. He's in his second year because but he didn't play last year. So this is going to be his first year of starting. If this is his first year of starting, and it usually takes time at the expense statistically of your playmakers.
And I want to say this because we need to clarify this because you're spot on and you're right. Patrick Mahomes didn't play his rookie year, right? He played the last game. I was there, the last game of the season. Then his first year as a starter, he wins MVP. He goes to the AFC Championship game against Brady. He does everything, but he also took reps all year long as a rookie and sat. J.J. McCarthy didn't do that. The injury kept him off the field from even running scout team or even getting any sort of reps the entire duration of the season. Now, he met with KOC. He met with Kevin O'Connell regularly, and they tried to keep him up to speed. But you're right, Steve. Even as with the knee up, he lost a bunch of weight.
No defender pressing.
Nothing. No speed of the game. Nothing. No. So it wasn't like, yes, he did sit his rookie year, but it wasn't even like, say, somebody like Mahomes who sat his rookie year but was out there in practice every day. So that also was you're right, a notch against J.J. McCarthy coming in here and having to run this show that actually, obviously, we know threw the ball really, really well with Sam Darnold. I have a question for you about J.J. Like, what is it about his game that you like the most? And I kind of want to do this a little bit with some of these big dogs. Like what part of it makes you go, yeah?
It's just unbelievable how wide open he does get. And a lot of times you see him catching a football and he's open. Mm-hmm. But it's remarkable how he got open and how great of a route runner he was. His release, his stem, his double move, and he has length. And he's a glider as well. So it sometimes looks like it's like, and he's out there playing with these dudes.
Yeah. I do want to mention, like, because I was looking up some stats. Like, Steve, he already has 3 of his 5 seasons. He's gone over 1,500 yards. The only person that has more 1,500-yard seasons than him is Jerry Rice with 4. So he needs one more 1,500-yard season to tie the GOAT and Jerry Rice. Like, he's off to one of the best starts we've ever seen a receiver have, honestly. The numbers are right there with Randy Moss. Outside of I checked the first 5 between the two, Randy Moss still has 20 touchdowns on him in the first 5. But it's going to be an interesting year to watch for him, for sure, because him alone in a vacuum, big dog. Situationally, new experience, but he went through it last year with Sam Darnold and still found a way to produce. Okay.
Look, there is a guy, he is inching as king of the jungle, but he's a big dog. And that's A.J. Brown.
So he's alpha of the dogs.
He is alpha of the dog, but I'm talking about statistically, though, you can't allow somebody to leapfrog the guy who won best receiver of the year.
That's a good point.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Over the last 3 seasons, he's led the league in beating man-to-man coverage, A.J. Brown. So depending on who you talk to, statistically, you got to give it to the guy who won the Triple Crown. Yeah. But then also, A.J. Brown is barking up the tree as well because he can run by you, but he's also extremely physical. So when A.J. Brown is matched up against anybody, it is a 96.6% chance that A.J. Brown is catching the football. Think about that. That means
that's filthy.
I'm no mathematician.
Well, you're pretty good there, though.
I don't like that math.
I don't like that math.
I don't like those percentages.
I think a lot of people would hate that math. Steve, you were like getting off press. And that's a big part of, I mean, people don't even press him that much because they know what's going to happen with A.J. Brown. And I want to, a defensive coach said this to me, and I want to get your take on it. It was like, it's almost like pass rushers. Like, you better have a counter move with your hands on A.J. Brown, or else you're on your heels and you're done right from the jump, like if you try to press him.
Because what A.J. Brown does, and Jamarr Chase does it as well, and both of these guys are in this category. So we're talking about A.J. Brown first, and then we'll get into Jamarr. Is A.J., he attacks you. He puts you on your heels. And he also, by putting you on your heels physically, he also has the ability to run by you, or when you're off in coverage and they do a little catch technique, that's a technique where they're off like 6 or 7 yards, and then you're running and you're trying to, the corner is deciphering what's going on, and then all of a sudden that's where they become a little bit more sticky.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown thrives with the stickiness when the corner comes, because now that gives him the ability to maneuver his body to position him out of the way to jump up and catch the football, or maneuver him out of the way so he putting his foot in the ground and take off running.
Yeah.
So it's really very, it's a unicorn, right? Where you have a guy that can run and run you over at the same time.
Yeah. It's impressive. And I think the other part about it is, Steve, the way he plays that, like, there's stretches in Philadelphia where he's not getting a ton of targets. because of the way they run the ball, and they lean on Saquon. And I know that helps you as a receiver when you run the ball well, but at the same time, oftentimes in a game, if they need,
it throws
they
you off.
got to moment, it does throw you off. And we had a great episode. We were talking about what he does when he's not getting targets. He's reading on the sideline. He's trying to get his mental right. But at the same time, I do think in a lot of gotta have it moments, I don't see him not make the play very often.
I agree.
Yeah.
Facts.
So, Steve, there is a name on here that we haven't said. I think everybody's put it together. He's part of a private club. I'm not sure if you guys get like skull rings and you can go to a secret society if you're a Triple Crown winner. But he's part of your very, very small fraternity as the most recent recipient of the Triple Crown. And this is the king of the jungle. It is the one, the only, and it's fitting because if you look at the helmet he plays with, it is
Jamarr Chase is the king of the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Jamarr Chase is that guy. We all know that. Statistically, he is the guy. I love the fact with Jamarr, so many of us question his first couple of years, especially his rookie year, how he had to make adjustment, how many drops he had. Okay. And then to come out and have the type of play that he's had. And a lot of his stuff where he catches the football, over 800 yards of yards after the catch. And so that really what makes him such a huge deal, because we talk about A.J. Brown, but you don't really put physicality and you go Jamarr Chase. But let me tell you, go watch his film. He's stout, and he's not an easy guy to take down. And it surprises people because when you look at speed guys, remember Xavier Worthy, we talked about him. He's a speed guy. But lightning. When you look at him, you look him in his patch, you see pants and cleats and socks. That's all you see, right? He has no patal, right? But Jamarr Chase, he's built like a track runner, right? He has that lower body that can run the distance. And so that's the part that I think has really blown people away, that they realize that he's just not a speed guy. He has some physicality to his game as well.
Yeah, and I mentioned those gotta have it moments with AJ. You just remember the way, I mean, obviously the season did not go the way they wanted it to go. Without getting into the postseason. And Burrow played the way he played. And Chase played the way he played. You look at the games down the stretch, he was over 75 yards in the last 8 games. Over 90 yards in each of the last 5 games. And like the gotta have it, like we gotta get into the postseason, making the run the second half because of how bad their start was. Like they relied on him to just go out and make plays, and he did it every single week.
Took over games.
It was taking over games. And so I also saw, Steve, they start putting him more spots than they did at the beginning of his career. And I feel like you have him here in this category as king of the jungle, and you've spent some time with him too. Like, there's still room for growth. Like, that's the scary part.
He's still learning the ins and outs of how the defense will try to take him away.
And he's already...
Right? So,
scary.
Because you got to understand, when you're out there running and playing and doing what you do, you know how you did it. Now this offseason, he gets his contract, he wins the Triple Crown. Now this offseason is to go back and look at what I did well. And then you have to now anticipate, what are teams going to do to slow me down? How have they done that against other players in the past? And so he's really worked on his game to start to learn how to get a better beat on what he may see in the secondary, so he's not surprised when they line a linebacker out there to press him up first, and then a corner behind the linebacker, and then a safety behind the corner who's in front the linebacker there. 3 people on one guy. That's next level stuff. Those are things that when you're working in your offseason, you go, that's not going to happen. And then all of a sudden it does, and you go, oh, crap.
Maybe I should have.
And here's why. Here's what I'll tell you. I was playing with Pittsburgh Steelers. I was with the Carolina Panthers. And about midway, they lined Larry Foote out on me and he was pressed up. I looked.
Larry Foote's there.
What the hell are you doing here? Why is the number, and I think Larry Foote number was 51. Why the hell is 51 lined up over? He's looking at me, and I'm looking at him. You know how you want to call a timeout because it just ain't registering?
Yeah.
How is this?
Oh.
And I had to learn that second half of the game. I had to learn how to run an in route by beating a pressed up linebacker and then getting back into my spot, running a route against a cover 2 corner, and then the safety in the middle of the field eyeing me.
Dude. But that's what you earn that spot. You earn to get to that, and then they adjusted. Then you got to adjust.
But I had to adjust in the game, and I was not prepared for it.
Mm.
Because we weren't thinking that would ever happen.
Well, they better start preparing for some of that stuff in Cincinnati.
And but I talked to him, and I think he's ready for whatever they're going to throw at him and understanding. And here's the other part. They can't do too much of that because they still have T. Higgins that they have to concern themselves with.
Yeah. I love the list. I
love the list. This was fun.
Shout
We're back.
Out
to our producer, John, getting this stuff. Let me tell you, 89's back in the building, getting the studio right. Mm-hmm. We're going to have some fun. James is on the athletic. He's doing all these things.
Oh, man. I don't know how to follow that other than, Steve, we're going to do it our way this year.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do it our way this year. 89. Whew.